Hello and welcome to my class again. Sharmila English class welcomes you again. Dear children, today we are going to do a new poem, that is Childhood. This poem is of class 11th, written by Marcus Nathan. Marcus Nathan, this childhood is a poem about the childhood of the poet. The poet talks about the transition of the poet from his childhood to maturity. As he matured, he forgot about the time when he started to think like adults. There is a hidden pain of the poet which hovers around the lines. In the end, his musing comes to a halt. He can see the innocence of childhood in an infant's face. Although he is an adult now, the essence of childhood is always there in little children. Now, children, this is the poem, and each stanza explains how the childhood was for Marcus Nathan. Children, let me tell you, everyone loves their own childhood. You all always keep on thinking that when we were a small child, what we used to do, right? Today, the same thing the poet is also thinking, all about his childhood. When he was small, what he used to do, how he used to spend his time. Childhood contains four stanzas. The first three stanzas have 6 lines in each, while the last one has only 4 lines. The structure of the poem is totally in the structure of the poem is totally of subject matter, right? So here we can just know that how the poem was and how the poem is being explained, right? Now, coming down to the first stanza, let me take you stanza wise. That is, what first stanza, it was, when did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Then, and therefore could not be. Was that the day? Okay, here in this first stanza, the poet, that is Marcus Nathan, he begins with a question. That is, when did my childhood go? He couldn't even realize that he is in his adult stage and his childhood is already gone. It's already passed away. He couldn't even realize that when his childhood passed away and he grew into an adult. Here, the poet is not sure when he became an adult. It was when he was 11 years old. That is what he is thinking of. It was when he was 11 years old. Then he realized that hell and heaven had no real existence in the age in which he was living. These are just the components of a child's bedtime story. He stresses the word geography by capitalizing it. It is a reference to the fact that at that time the poet started to familiarize himself with the rational world. The poet uses the line and therefore could not be within enclosed inverted commas, double inverted commas, for emphasizing that he could not freely roam in his imaginary world like before. There should not be any room for such childlike dreaming now. Time has changed and he is not a child anymore. The use of refrain in the last line highlight the poet's transition into adulthood. It means that he couldn't even realize that he has grown up. Okay, now let me take you to stanza 2. When did my childhood go? Again, he is asking a question. When did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not but did not act so lovingly. Was that day? Now, children, it so happens with everyone. You know what happens when we also grow up? We always think that, oh, now we are grown up, so nobody will love us or nobody will take our care, right? This is what everybody thinks because we are grown up now. Now, in the second stanza, the same thing goes here, what I told you. In the second stanza, also, the poet foregrounds the attitude of mature ones towards a child who has just become an adult. He had suddenly a realization that the adults around him were not behaving as they did before. Before, what happened? When you were very small, the children, the parents used to pamper you like anything. Now, here the poet is also saying that he had suddenly a realization that the adults around him were not behaving as they did before, when he was very small. When he was a little child, they pampered him. He got all the things when he wanted. The most important thing here is love. Children, all of you want love. The poet says that with time, their love has also changed. Yes, obviously, when you will grow up along with the time, the love for you will change. Yes. Now, but they could not understand the poet has just stepped into maturity. The poet has just stepped into maturity. They thought it was inappropriate to treat him as a child. No, because he is already grown up, so you cannot pamper a grown up child like grown up adult like a small child, right? Still, it was a long way to be like his parents. It was just the beginning. He still needed their assistance and foremost their love. Adults cannot understand the mental happenings of a kid. They are not machines. There is no switch in a human heart which can turn on the mode of adulthood in a child. It is a process, and processing of a human mind needs time. For them, it is a critical time. A lot of things start to enter into their lives and puzzle them daily. What they need is only love to welcome the mental transformation with a patient heart. Right? Yes. Now, let me end up, let us do stanza 3. When did my childhood go? Again, he is asking a question. When did my childhood go? Was it when I found my mind was really mine? But my own and mine alone? Was that the day? In this section too, the poet asks the same questions to himself. Again, when did my childhood go? The refrain used at the beginning of each stanza refers to an important idea. The state of childhood was an important thing in his life. As an adult, he laments the loss of innocence. Children are very innocent, and he regrets the loss of innocence because he is grown up. He has become an adult now. Imaginative spirit. He has also lost his imaginative spirit. And and above all, spontaneity of thought, continuously the spontaneity of thought. What goes on a child's mind? We even don't know. When a child enters into manhood, whatsoever, here in this stanza, there is a concept of self awareness. If it grows up in the mind of a child after stepping into adolescence. According to the poet, it made him aware of his own body and thoughts. The poet could not think like a child. He started to become self centered. Thereafter, he lost the touch of purity, which is always there in an infant's soul. Coming to stanza 4, where did my childhood go? That's all I know. That's all I know. Now, where did my childhood go again? In the stanza 4 also, the poet asks the same questions that where did his childhood go? In this stanza, the poet becomes very practical. He accepts that he is an adult now. He can no longer think like a child and cry over the spilled milk. Spilled milk, whatever is gone. Yes. Now he asks himself where the childhood has gone. It might have gone to a place where he cannot visit anymore. Suddenly, the truth appears in his mind. In reality, he is an adult, but the essence of childhood is always there. The essence of childhood will always remain there within us. Even if you grow up, children, you will still be a child in front of your parents. In reality, he is an adult, but the essence of childhood is always there. In the heart of a child and the happy face of an infant, purity is glittering in its full luster. There is no reason to be sad. Those innocent faces, brimming with the hope of a new day, are always there to cheer him up. That's all he knows. Here, children, the poet is feeling pity that his childhood is already passed off, and he is in his adulthood now. And when did his childhood passed away? He never realized. Okay, now here there are many poetic devices used. There is a regularity in rhyming scheme, in the first and the last stanza. In the first stanza, there is two rhyming scheme, that is 11. In the first stanza, 11. In the second line, rhymes with heaven. Okay, so in the first stanza, 11 rhymes with heaven. 11, heaven. In the next line, likewise, geography rhymes with B. B-E-B, geography, B. In the last stanza, the scheme is different. Go in the first lines rhymes with no. Go in the first lines rhymes with no. K-N-O-W, no. And in the last place, in the last line, place rhymes with face. Place rhymes with face. So 11, heaven, geography, be, go, no, place, face. These are all rhyming words. These are all rhyming words. So there is a rhyme scheme in the poem. Again, the childhood, there is another poetic device that is used is personification. Here, the first main poetic device that is used is personification. Which is personification here? The literary device that is used here is personification. Here, why? Because the poet personifies childhood. The poet personifies childhood. He thinks that it has left and gone somewhere else. Okay, he thinks that the childhood has left him and gone somewhere else. Okay, again there is a refrain in first and the last line of each stanza. There is a refrain in first and the last line of each stanza, and the exception is only in the last stanza. It is actually for the sake of giving extra emphasis in the penultimate stanza. Another important poetic device that is used here is interrogation or rhetorical question. Rhetorical question. What is rhetorical question? That is, the poet incorporates it many times. There is a metaphor for machines. He is comparing the human being with machines. Metaphor, machines in the third stanza. Here he talks about mind and producing the thoughts. Production of thoughts. He is talking about mind and producing thoughts. That's hidden in a infant's face is an epigram. It is epigram. So there are some other rhetorical devices also, like irony. Irony. What is irony here? Irony is at the end of the poem. The poet gets mused up. The poet, he becomes very sad that he has lost his childhood and entered into an adulthood, and but he couldn't realize that he is already an adult. Okay, and here we have got anaphora in the poem also. There is, these are not less significant concerning the major figures. So each of these devices used in the poem helps the poet to make his idea clear. Here, actually, there are lots of, these are the poetic devices used. And actually, the irony part is, although the poet is an adult now, the essence of childhood is all will always be there in little children. Like he is, he can only get satisfaction by seeing. He is always getting satisfaction by seeing those innocent faces of the children, and uh, children and their happy faces, you know what is going on in their mind. That is what, when he sees, he becomes very happy. So this is the poem all about the childhood, by written by Marcus Nathan. You know, it's an emotional and very heart touching poem, and really, 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 everybody should love your childhood. Yes, you should be happy, enjoy your life, because these days are not going to return back. Once you are grown up, you will never come back to become a small child again. So you all should, children, according to me, you all should capture these moments, enjoy your life, and then you will do whatever you want. Think and be happy and enjoy your life like anything, because that is the only life where you are being pampered, you are being loved and cared by others, right? So you should always be happy and cheerful, and think that now you are not grown up, so in front of all your parents you will still remain small child. A child is always a child, thinks pure, heart is always pure, and remains happy always. This is my thinking. So, children, before I end up this poem, I would just like to thank all the subscribers who have subscribed my channel, and wish you all the best for your future. Children, please listen to this poem carefully and learn this poem, read this poem. It's very interesting. Childhood, all about a childhood. All the poetic devices I have explained very, 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 very nicely. And be happy always. And those who have not subscribed my channel till now, please subscribe, share, and like my channel. Again, I am saying, children, if you'll have any doubt, please write in my comment section, and please write in my comment section so that I can just reply you back with your doubts. Clear out all your doubts in the comment section. Right? Till then, take care, all of you. Bye. See you. Thank you.